What I thought I'd try and do right now is just give you a quick overview of the accelerometer functions. So if we take a quick look, if we start up Iron7, you'll see it's got a new look and feel, but it's not a big change. Then there is a script that ships with the app called Accelerometer, and the Accelerometer script is quite simple. What it does, you won't be able to see its full effect on the emulator, is it opens up a canvas, paints it white, and puts a blue bubble in there, and then it reads X, Y, and Z continually, and the bubble moves depending on where you are. Now, if you wanted to change that script, what you could do is you could take it, you could write directly in there. What we'll do is we'll copy the script to a new place. We'll rename it because obviously we don't want to conflict with other things. I'll cheat at the moment and use the proper keyboard just for speed. So we'll call it space. Then you can go back. Now it's called space, and at least hopefully it's called space. Did it not change? And we get to see here that we can now change, for example, the width. So we'll make it full width, and the height. So we'll make it full height. So now when we run, you get a full height. Let's also go back and change the radius of that bubble. So that's 100. Oops, not 2100. That would be a bit large. And again, that's obvious what that does. Makes it bigger. Right. So what I'd like to do also is I'd like to make it slightly less like a demo. So let's take the canvas, and I'm going to find the right key for it in the American keyboard, and that's comment out the add of the rectangle. So now we don't get a background. And then I'd also like to make it slightly prettier. So instead of a bubble which is an ellipse, what I'm going to do is I am going to take that bubble and I'm going to make it image.new. So I'm going to actually put an image on there. And then what I'd like to fill that image with is an internet source. So I've got a source which I've called sec for some reason. And I'm going to fix that to a source that I have uploaded to the internet. Make that lowercase. And it's on iron7.com. I should have used bit.ly to make this shorter, for app. And it is a spaceship. And it is a PNG. So there's our spaceship source. What we need to do is load that into a bitmap. So we take, we'll call it a bitmap, seeing as it is a bitmap. And we want to do a new on that, so it's bitmap.new. And we want to pass in a URI. So URI.new. And that is our source, which is called sec for some reason. And then the only other thing we really need to do is comment out the fill. And then when we run that, what we discover is we've got an unexpected label. So let's take a look at what that is. So let's go back to the script. And image.new source. So the problem is that I actually, when I was typing, missed out on the inverted commas at the start of HTTP. This is one of the reasons you see I only type a small amount each time and then I run it, and that's because it's easier to debug that way because you can work out right. So now I've got unexpected identifier. You see, did I get the end of that HTTP line? So let's take a look again. We have the source. Yeah, so I need to move over to here. Okay, so I've got it in the right place. And let's end that line. Right, so now hopefully when I run it, okay, so now it's complaining because I don't have a bitmap. And that's because I've done two things. Firstly, I've named the class wrong. And so the class is called bitmap image, not bitmap. That's just a compact framework thing, or full framework thing. And the second thing is actually I know that the bitmap image is in a different namespace that isn't currently included. So what I need to do is go up here, and I need to go to include system : Windows. Oh, there's a problem with the emulator keyboard that if you hold down Shift, it turns it into a caps lock because it is emulating the keyboard on the device. Windows Media, and it's imaging without the E in there. So now if I run this, getting closer to it, now it's complaining about object.uri, so let's go back to object.uri. And that's because URI is actually in the namespace system, so let's include that. So now when I run that, hopefully there are no complaints. But there is also no spaceship. Have I typed the name of the spaceship wrong? Let me just go back and look again. So we've got Iron7, 4app, spaceship.png. We just try www, but I don't believe that's the problem. The next problem, obviously, is that I never actually attached the bitmap that I loaded to the bubble. So let's do that. Bubble.source equals bitmap. And let's run that. Okay, so that's done that, and if I had an accelerometer, I could show you it going backwards and forwards. I'll do a quick webcast after this to show you that. Obviously, it was in the middle there. I didn't really like it being in the middle, so let me do a couple of other things. I could also put it, if I want to, because here's the code which actually shows where the spaceship is. You could just, if you want to, just use the X and not the Y. So you could do that quite quickly by typing there and going, well, I'd like to fix that and say 650, and then that would just work. You have to comment it out correctly, and then that would push the bubble to the bottom of the screen. I don't think that's going to make any difference, so there you go, it's at the bottom of the screen. I'll just do a quick demo now to show that happening.